Hello, everybody. This is Justin Case of American Newscape, joining our friend and media personality, Jerry Maldonado, back for another installment of American Mentoring. Hello, Jerry. Welcome back
Hey,
to American Newscape.
what do you expect? Serious tonight or what?
Yeah, I
Hey
did.
guys, namaste.
Namaste.
The one
Namaste.
take show where we have a lot of fun, man. I love it.
Exactly. Okay, Jerry, tonight, despite Elvis telling us that there were too few to mention, we're going to do a topic called regrets. So, Jerry, what's
Yeah.
happening with regrets?
What's happening with regret? One thing, the biggest thing I learned in this journey of trial and error per se was the fact of the matter is that our mind is just basically a Xerox copy machine. And whatever happened to us, those powerful things that happened to us in life, we kind of hold and we kind of think back and we recite those over and over again, just like a play of what had happened to us in life. And we start living in the feelings of regret. Regret is like a poison to the body. And a lot of people I know live in this every single day. And it's to mourn, to loss, to miss, all these synonyms that go along with it that impede us in what we're trying to do in life because we keep living back there. Like how I popped in the screen before, that's how everybody keeps living. And regret follows that same mantra. It's just reliving what we've already lived instead of creating what we want to create.
Well, I agree with you, Jerry, and I think a lot of people uh, do have that burden. I think I'm blessed because it's all full speed ahead. I don't really have time to focus on what I should have done or could have done, and I want to move forward. You know, we may use that information to help us move forward or move forward in a more efficient manner, but you're right. Regrets can bog you down. I mean, that coulda, woulda, shoulda, it just means nothing to me.
It's also a choice. I mean, we've rode bikes and hit fences. We don't regret that. We've done things in life that if you kind of take it, if you simplify it, it's called trial and error. It's called growth, evolution, evolving. If you take it with that kind of mindset, the setbacks are basically setups. You know, people that have left you have done you a favor. People have come to you have done you a favor. If you start thinking in this mindset every single day, and you start realizing that you're growing because you're knowing there's a big difference. There is no regret involved. Indeed, yes, we've all had times where I woulda, coulda, shoulda, but when you really lament on these factors, it doesn't do a body good. It poisons your system. It hurts your feelings. It hurts your self confidence. Most importantly, to push forward because we all want to just do what we want to do. We want to live our dream, our life, our love and peace. But we spend the majority of our time, like I came into the screen in the beginning, we keep living back there.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Some of my past remembrances that some people might call regrets. I remember one day I used to be hurried when I was in school, and I would read my assignments while I rode my bicycle to school. Lo and behold, I hit a parked car,
Yeah,
and I got up.
didn't regret that, did you?
I got up, dusted myself up, fixed my front wheel, continued to ride to school. About a week later, I was riding to school, reading my assignment. This time I hit a different parked car. So,
And you got a license too after that, which is crazy. This is
well,
absolutely insane.
the
You know,
teach.
I've been I get it. I mean, I'm an open book. I'm not ashamed of my past. I'm not ashamed that I left school, but yet I'm an author. I'm not ashamed that I lost everything. Well, not once, but twice. But here I am again. You know what I mean? If you keep living back there, all you're going to do is keep recreating back there. I've failed in this. I've failed in that. I tried 4 times to write a book till I got a book out. It's just you understanding and learning, knowing and growing, evolving and being. It's that constant step process that'll get past of what has happened to you to make happen for you and stop hitting our cars too.
Well, yeah, and if we think about our past failure, if we want to call them failures as opposed to our past experiences, it's we're we do not live in fear of that happening again. I do live in fear of running into another parked car because I do believe that
Yeah.
three times is a charm.
Well, also insurance too. Your insurance will double. It ain't that. The hell with that. The insurance is going to go up 50%, man. They'll probably even drop you at our age. What the hell?
There you go.
But regret to me. I mean, honestly, yes, indeed. Society. No. Here's a great point. You bring up a great word on that. Society has taught us that failure is bad, and it shouldn't be that way.
No.
Failure is learning. And if people can get that mindset of, yeah, indeed, yeah, this happened, or a marriage failed, or a relationship failed, this happened, but it could have been the biggest gift to me because now I can evolve to what I really want. And things don't necessarily just fail. It's a mindset first before a lifestyle. When you realize you're Xerox copying everything that has happened to you every single day with your five senses. And when you realize if you keep recopying the same copy, you got to change it. You got to change the paper. You got to change your thought process. You got to change your lifestyle to fit where you want to go. Therefore, you won't keep going back to where you've been. That's the hardest part for people. They think it's so hard, but it's really just a conscious sense of thinking.
Well, yeah, and you think about it, it's almost wallowing in the mud. You want to wallow in the
Yeah,
misery, and
yeah.
that doesn't help.
Those old timers knew it. I mean,
Well,
indeed.
Jerry, you say five senses, you don't mean nickels.
No, but it's going to be worth that if you keep lamenting in this in your past. You see, hear, smell, taste, touch. Those triggers bring you right back, or they can bring you forward in life. And if you start living by your five senses instead of what you truly want in your mindset, there's a big difference. Your five senses are your regret triggers. See, hear, smell, taste, and touch. If people keep looking back as what had happened to them, it's going to get triggered right back to where they were. And when you realize trial and error, you realize you're only evolving even better. And that mirror technique that you and I speak of, every week we speak about the mirror technique. It's so imperative that it's okay to fail. It's not okay to quit.
Right. Well, yeah, and that mirror, the mirror that we talk about, and I hope everybody understands, that's a very layered mirror.
Indeed.
We're not just checking our hair. We're it's that old
Checking our senses.
Well, checking everything. It's that old check with me.
Yeah.
I'm checking with myself. Where do I need to be? What do I need to be doing? And how am I going to proceed?
They always taught us as kids. When you're talking to somebody, look them in the eye.
Oh, absolutely.
How many people can actually do that in the mirror? To look at themselves in the eye and to be totally honest with themselves. Indeed, I failed. Yes, indeed. Okay, fine. I learned from that. That's the hardest thing people have to grasp. And indeed, it's a learning process. Yeah, somebody left you, meatball. That's okay. There's 7 billion people out there. Indeed. I mean, you're not limited. This is the kind of mindset it'll curb the pain. Indeed. But if you keep carrying that hurt locker, you open it up every morning, you keep going back in there every morning with your five senses, life is just going to keep Xerox copying that hamster wheel of cause and effect.
Well, you triggered some thoughts with me, Jerry. We talk about making a connection. It's make a connection with yourself. The reason
Yes.
the reason I loved public speaking was because it was making a connection with everybody that afforded me the time to listen to what I was there to talk about. And you look them in the eye. I used to say that when you had a passionate speech or a topic matter, you reach into their chest and you massage their hearts and you leave them better than you found them. And it's the same thing with yourself in the mirror.
Exactly. You took the words right out of my little mouth there, man. Good for you.
Your little mouth.
You're I know, big mouth to me.
I'm
But
sorry.
what you reiterate every day, you're going to create every day. And you bring up that great point with the mirror thing. I mean, how many of us can actually look at ourselves in the mirror, deep in the mirror, every morning as we're getting ready? Just before I was coming on, I was getting ready. I was reciting what I wanted to have, be and do in life. It's that constant playing of the play that you want to create in your life that you're going to create. But if you keep reciting, or how should we say, regretting where you've been, You can only recreate more. That's why they put a re in front of it. It's to redo, to rehab, to rehold in life. You keep putting a re in front of every thought, you're just going to re-manifest it.
Well, yeah, and you know that's we need to when we check with ourselves, when we look at ourselves in the mirror, when we make eye contact with ourselves in the mirror, find the positive. I don't care where you are. There's something very, very positive, and it may be simply I woke up this morning, and I have another chance to enjoy this thing called life.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. You got to do a mind check every single day. There was a on a excuse me, on 9/11 there was a couple Port Authority officers that got trapped in WTC, and literally in the concourse between the two buildings. And what they kept reiterating through that whole process of being entombed in concrete was get your mind right. And it's something that we all should live by, because if we're lamenting on the past, if we keep going back there, we got to get our mind right if we want to move forward. In other words, you got to be looking that way. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you got to be looking that way. When you keep pushing that narrative of what you want to have, be, and do on a constant level, you can only create that. You can't create the past if you're focusing on the front. It's impossible. What you point your direction and thought and your feelings every single day, you're going to move forward in every single day.
Well, John Paul Jones, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead.
Absolutely. There you go. Another old lighter. I love it.
And it wasn't from
And a Bud
Napoleon.
Light too, man. And a Bud Light with that Old Testament right there.
And it wasn't from Napoleon, and I don't really remember or care to remember anything Napoleon said.
I didn't bring up Napoleon. You did.
Oh, sorry. I did.
Where'd that come from? I
What's
give up
wrong?
on that narrative because the Russians would come after me on that. I don't need that right now in my life. I'm kind of busy right now. I don't need that stuff. I'm good.
And that can be a cold winter in Russia. I understand, especially
Yeah, no, yeah. On Siberia, no, I'm a palm tree guy. As you can tell with my backdrop here. I'm a warm guy.
New Haven palm tree man.
Indeed.
All right, Jerry. Why don't you leave us with some final thoughts? I did enjoy this topic. I was a little weak going into it, but
Yeah.
I think you brought it around.
Yeah, it's simple. It's simple, but it's powerful. And you brought up some great points about looking at yourself, and you direct your life by your thought of it. And it's a really powerful topic, but a simple solution. What is your thought direction in life? If your thought direction on where you're going, the failures are only lessons. If your thoughts are on the failures as a backdrop, you can never move forward. So you got to ask yourself, what are you constantly thinking about? Because if you break it down, if you're constantly thinking about where you're going, you're not regretting anything. If you're constantly in a mood where it's bringing you backwards, you're regretting something. It's you being completely honest with yourself about what you want for yourself, to become for yourself, to create for yourself.
There you go, Jerry. And let me leave everybody with pack up all your cares and woes, singing low, feeling low, bye-bye Blackbird, and pack up those cares and woes. Let's get going. Let's get up and move. All right, everybody. This has been Justin Case and Jerry Maldonado bringing you American Mentoring. Thanks for joining us. Remember, additional information and links are provided in this video's read more. Today's the day to subscribe to this channel. Please learn more about Jerry Maldonado when time permits.